in this last few months, you've had a few things happen, which is Ben Shapiro talked about going to one of your shows and complaining about you becoming woke, which sort of then created this.
He doesn't even know what that word means.
God, I love this video. In it, comedian Bill Burr torches Ben Shapiro and then exposes something that I don't think enough people are talking about, and I don't even think people who've seen this noticed he did. And then he slams the Joe Rogan clones who take the lazy and profitable road to fascist lapdoggery, all because they're just bad at comedy. And he's not alone, and I'll show you all that and more. But first, here's the backstory. Ben Shapiro went to a show that Bill Burr did, complained about him being woke, and now Burr's about to nuke the guy.
His definition of woke is white liberals' definition of woke, and they didn't even know what it was. They just took the word from black people. That's the worst thing about our people, is not only do we take from other cultures, we don't even take the time to understand the definition.
Yeah.
He went there to be annoyed so he can then have something to talk about, and then he can make money off of dividing his own country.
Yeah.
Those people, it's treasonous what they do.
There it is. Regardless of what woke started out meaning, which was just be aware of how they're trying to you, the right has made it mean, I don't know, I can't believe there's this mermaid is black. Why did you make me want to Eminem? How dare you tell a child that Rosa Parks existed? And now the right wing is trying to say that the left is killing comedy and comedians should hate woke. But comedians like Bill Burr just call out annoying things in a funny way, regardless of what side of the aisle they fall on. And apparently that broke Ben Shapiro's brain, and Bill Burr is about to call him out for it.
What I'm finding is that people keep trying to categorize what it is that you're doing. Like that idiot Ben Shapiro. No, he's woke now. He's like, I don't, that guy, someone came to me and goes, hey man, he was trying to bring me into his fold. At one point, the guy liked me.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I didn't, then all of a sudden I'm supposed to look at that guy like he's an adult?
Anybody else pick up on that? It sounds like Ben Shapiro sent an envoy to Bill Burr to try to turn him into a minion of the right.
He was trying to bring me into his fold. At one point, the guy liked me.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I didn't, then all of a sudden I'm supposed to look at that guy like he's an adult?
Yeah, it didn't work on Bill Burr because he's a good comedian who doesn't need that. So when Bill Burr was calling out like mealy-mouthed liberals for bastardizing the term woke and making it super annoying, Ben Shapiro was like,
oh, we got him now. We got his now. Maybe if I rub his belly and call him pretty, he'll come over to our side like all the other sad, vapid comedians that worked on before. Theo Von, Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan.
But Bill Burr's been at this for a long time, and he's in a Star War. He doesn't need that. He still says stuff like this.
My new perspective is there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire. But if somebody is working 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, and they can't make their rent, you're not paying them enough money. Maybe you should just be worth $900 million.
Yeah.
Like, how does a CEO take a 8-figure bonus and none of your employees have dental insurance? They can't even go out and get a filling.
Boom, say something like that, and Ben Shapiro can no longer go along with you. And here's why it makes me so damn happy to see this. This is what happens when a grifter meets an artist. When a bull meets a bull detector. When the bot meets the unbuyable. This right here, this is the specific edge for the right-wing grift. Because there are only two reasons why the right wing starts culture wars. One, to make money. Ben Shapiro, watch all my videos about the Shillitary industrial complex. But the other reason is probably more nefarious. It is a way to divide the working class and convince it to vote along the interests of the billionaire class. Every time the right wing like something trans or this movie's too woke, they're just trying to convince poor people to vote the way the billionaires want them to. I mean, what Bill Burr said is true and like moral. And no matter how moral and true Ben Shapiro wants you to believe he is not free to say the stuff Bill Burr's free to say because it would anger the billionaires who bankrolled his entire existence. Not being able to say that kind of stuff is the reason Ben Shapiro gets money. So when Bill Burr says stuff like that, Ben Shapiro basically turns into the vampire who got to your doorstep. He's like,
I can't go in there and I really want to.
And he gets really pissed off. And you know who else does? Well, racists.
It became a thing online where then a certain portion of the right complained about how you're woke.
Racists.
And more racist.
They're racist. Yeah, they send pictures of monkeys to me and my wife.
Yeah,
They're horrible people, and they're cowards, and they never say it to your face.
Yeah.
They never do that.
Now, here's the turn that I did not think Bill Burr was going to take in this interview, but he does. He calls out the way that lesser comedians offer psychopaths a path to legitimacy.
Look, dude, there's an ugliness that's out there right now where, there's certain podcasts out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your bad jokes and just give you this pass. And it's like, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there. And, it's the kind of things we've already seen this, and we've seen what it does to a nation. And it's not the way to go. It's not the way to go.
Now, when I watch that again, maybe he's talking about Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson and that whole complex of folks. And he might not be talking about Joe Rogan and the clones, because a lot of comedians are going to take a step back before doing that. But you know who is not afraid to call out these folks? Mark Maron. Now, Mark Maron is a comedian's comedian. He is in the vein of Mort Saul, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, that type of guy. And he is not afraid to call out the folks who moved to Austin to follow Joe Rogan.
What do you think the Austin shelf life is going to be?
Well, I don't know. I think that it's so effectively tribalized at this point. It really comes down to material. I mean, at what point, it's like whatever they represented in terms of policy. And it's not a stretch. It's like they won. Trans people are frightened. They have no ability to get health care anymore. And they're afraid of being alive and have no freedom left. So that's done. When do you stop with the jokes? And like immigrants, okay, well, they're being ripped away from their homes, and they're all terrified, and okay, so that's done. When do you stop with the jokes?
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to pick on the vulnerable and the marginalized, but I mean, they're down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Seeing Maron there is great because it's part of a growing chorus of comedians who are like, all right, enough's enough. We see the hack comedians doing their bits about trans people. Let's actually focus on being funny rather than just riding a wave everyone else is riding. And by everyone, I mean comedians who aren't funny enough to tell edgy jokes well or have skin thick enough to handle the blowback.
I've been seeing like Jeselnik having an issue with people like Tony Hinchcliffe, who he's saying uses profanity or just shock value comedy. What's your thoughts on that?
well, at this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. To be in a club where, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now.
I don't know that comedians have had that much power.
Are you out of your mind?
No, I'm...
So good. And by the way, here's that clip of Jeselnik they were both talking about, just so you know where they're coming from.
These comics now, it's like almost the point is to get in trouble. It's like, why are you giving me I'm a comic, I'm allowed to say whatever I want. That's wrong, as far as I'm concerned. Art...
Oh, wait, say it again so I don't miss it.
People think like, oh, as a comic, your job is to get in trouble. And so, but they don't want to get yelled at. It's like, it's okay to make people mad, but they don't want any pushback. And I think that's wrong. As a comedian, you want to make people laugh. This is a quote attributed to Andy Warhol that I love. It's just, art is getting away with it. If you put out a special and everyone's pissed, like you didn't get away with it. You need to make everyone laugh that they're like, yeah, he talked about up stuff, but we're all happy. That's art. Otherwise, you're just a troll.
And I love that. And like, honestly, there's tons of annoying people on either side of the aisle. I fully understand it. But I think the ones that are the most annoying are the ones that just want to kick down. And even worse than that, it's the people who think they're hilarious when really, like, do we really think that Ben Shapiro and people like Jordan Peterson on the right are the arbiters of what's hilarious? I mean, have you heard them tell jokes?
Do you know the interrupting cow joke?
Of course. Who doesn't know the interrupting cow joke?
The kids love the interrupting cow joke. Do you think we can do it?
I probably. Sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
No, I missed it. No. Let's try that again. Knock knock.
Who's there?
The interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo. There we go.
So good. There it is.
Kids love that joke.
They do.
Yeah. Why do ducks have flat feet?
Why?
For stomping out flaming forest fires. Why There's a kicker. Why do elephants have flat feet?
Why?
For stamping out flaming ducks.
I like that, actually. I feel like my kids will like that.
Maybe. Until they grow up and realize who their father was. All right, everybody, that's my time. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And you'll get more videos from Rebel Headquarters. That's it. And this is a Lenny Bruce book that I was going to show you, but I didn't. It gets really weird. Bye.